Youorns. Greetings, fellow Watford fans. Omar here, and it's time for the youorns Saturday preview. That's right, as we get ready for Sunderland versus Watford later on today at the Stadium of Light. And Watford have to hope that the Stadium of Light does not become the Stadium of Fright for the Hornets as they take on Sunderland in this game, where Sunderland will be extra motivated to get 3 points. If Sunderland win their remaining 2 games, including this one, they will be in the playoffs. Watford will not be in the playoffs. Of course, we've said that here for many a week and a month, as they were officially, mathematically ended with a hope for the playoffs by Millwall, with Millwall's 3-2 win at Blackpool last night. So Watford won't be playing for anything, really. And most of the players who play, well, maybe a lot of the players will not play today because, as Chris Wilder put it, a lot of the youngsters are going to get a turn in this starting lineup. And it's about time that we get to see the full complement, really, of a lot of academy players in this starting lineup today. And that's what I hope Watford will do. I hope that Chris Wilder, in these last 2 games that he's going to be in charge of this football team, puts out a lot of youngsters. Let's see what these youngsters do. I say this often, and I've said this for a number of weeks now. We're looking at the next season to come. And so all of these games now are an audition for next season. And Adrian Blake, I hope, will get a start today. That will be a really good thing for Watford to see what he can do. He has played some first-team football in previous seasons, including at Leicester City. You might remember that in the FA Cup last year, remembering he actually did very well in that game, although Watford would end up being beaten 4-1 in that game in the FA Cup 3rd round last year. But I think that you've got to go with the youngsters. There's no way around it. You've got nothing to lose. Watford, of course, out of the playoffs. And I think Watford, again, as a team, this men's first team has not played with any urgency all season long. And Pride, they didn't play for that last week against Hull. Why should I expect that they're going to do anything different against Sunderland? And as I said before, Watford have got to hope that the Stadium of Light is not the Stadium of Fright. At least 45,000 spectators are expected at this game today. Yes, 45,000 will be the biggest crowd that Watford have played in front of since the FA Cup final in 2019. And you know how that turned out for the Hornets. Sunderland have a lot of motivation. They'll have the crowd on their side. They're at home. They're coming off a win at West Bromwich Albion the other day, and they are galvanized with the opportunity that's in front of them, the possibility of them getting to the playoffs, which I expect Sunderland will do if they win this game and win the game at Preston on the Monday that ends this championship season. Watford, from a Watford perspective, this season can't end quickly enough. They will absolutely, I think, get off the pitch quickly in this one. And I expect that Sunderland will get the 3 points here. Watford, to me, right now, are no longer thinking about a game anymore. They're thinking about packing their bags and leaving Vicarage Road. At least half these players will. But for Watford today, I want to see the academy players put in the shift that I totally expect them to do. I want to see what we've got, what a future holds, what the future holds for this Watford men's first team. And the way to do that is play these youth. Now, as far as Watford are concerned, I expect that you will have a quite substantially changed lineup. I expect a lot of the players that you are used to seeing in this Watford first team lineup are going to be on the bench or just not playing at all. I don't expect some of these players to feature, but I do expect to see the likes of James Morrison, who earlier this week signed a professional contract. James Morris, who earlier this week signed a professional contract, I would love to see in this side, unless he is injured. And I know that Toby Adeyemo is injured, but these are the players for the future at Watford who I think are going to make a big mark, and they're going to be a crucial part of the rebuilding process. And Watford are making it very clear. Ben Manga's making it very clear. These players are going to be a staple, knock on wood, of the Watford future. The James Morrises of the world, the Ryan Andrews of the world, the Toby Adeyemos of the world. These are the kinds of players that we are going to expect to see. as Watford rebuild and rebuild their identity as well on the pitch and off of it, for that matter. And maybe there'll be one or two veteran players that will come along. But I think Watford today, let's show the fans, let's show everyone what we're trying to do at this club. Let's show the fans that you care enough to play passionate football, that you care enough to put your heart and soul into this badge and into the game of football. I have labeled some of these Watford players, in fact, of this season and last season, as a disgrace to professional football, even more so this season. But I really do believe that when you have more of these academy players in, you will begin to see the changing face of a Watford men's first team that will actually fight for the shirt. I know when he's healthy, Toby Adeyemi will fight for the shirt. I know that James Morris will fight for the shirt. Brian Andrews will definitely fight for the shirt. And I know Adrian Blake will also fight for the shirt. Now, I would love to think that Adrian Blake is going to stay here after this season is over, but we will see if he does. We will see if he does. As far as the Sunderland players are concerned, look out for Joe Gelhardt. Gelhardt, of course, was at Leeds United last season and was quite a sensation there. Now at Sunderland, I think he's either on loan at Sunderland or he's a permanent Sunderland player, but whatever. Gelhardt is a player that you've got to watch for. He usually plays along the front line, and Sunderland like to, generally speaking, employ a 4-2-3-1 formation. We'll see how Watford deal with it. I would like to see, if he is healthy and available, João Ferreira back on the side. I would like to see what he can do there, because we've not really seen a lot of João Ferreira this season. Now, look, he's come in since January or thereabouts. He has been injured. He's been playing a lot in the under-21s, and I'd like to see what he can do. Martins, who knows? I don't know what's going on with Martins. Is he available? Is he not? Is he injured? Is he not? I know that some of these players have been playing in the under-21s, and I'd like to see them play for this first team. There's 2 games remaining, including today's against Sunderland at the Stadium of Light. And what Watford have to do is just get back to footballing basics. Just play the basics of professional football. Don't be flashy, don't be tricky, and play as a team. Don't play as individuals. If you can just do those 3 things, play as a team, play the basic footballing game, do the fundamentals of football. If you can just do those things, you never know what can happen today. But I fully expect that Sunderland are going to be up for this. They've got basically all of the stadium in front of them and with them. And there'll probably be, between 200 and 500 Watford fans there, if that. And they are going to be severely outnumbered in a game where Watford, I think, are not going to put forth the effort, unless you've got a team of academy players who will absolutely fight to the very end. This has been the YouOrns Saturday Preview.